Welcome to the Cruise Retreat Podcast. Hi, I'm Rita Perez, and I'm a travel advisor specializing in, you guessed it, cruise ship retreats. This podcast is for service-based entrepreneurs and corporate decision makers to learn more about staying everyone's favorite company with a cruise ship retreat. Ready to increase your client or employee retention? Listen in on this week's show. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Real quick, if you have not already, please make sure to head over to Apple Podcasts and give this show a rating and review so that we can be accessed by more people just like you who are looking for content very similar to this to grow their companies or businesses through cruise retreats. So, on to the good stuff. So today is the final installment of my Hispanic Heritage series. And today's episode is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be something a little unexpected in the sense that it's not a river that runs through a Hispanic country per se, but there is an awesome pre-extension on this river cruise that does go through a Hispanic country, and that country is Spain. And I was gonna say probably not too much of a shocker because there's not that many rivers that run through Hispanic countries, so Spain really is the only one that we have left over there in Europe to hit to. So this itinerary specifically is for another itinerary that I've had on my bucket list for quite some time now, and that is the Colors of Provence River Cruise. And that sails through the beautiful parts of the southwest, this sails through the beautiful parts of the southeastern side, the Rhone River of France. So this is sure to be a river cruise that's going to enliven all of your senses. That's like, I'm just thinking about the beauty that you're going to see, the beauty that you're going to taste, the beauty that you're going to smell, the beauty that you're going to be able to get to touch. Like, everything is just going to be so colored from this amazing experience. I did an email article quite some time ago kind of comparing the Bordeaux River Cruise with this river cruise, and I actually kind of preferred this one a little bit more just because of all the wonderful things that you can do, like hit up a lot of those UNESCO World Heritage sites. You can view the mountains of Montserrat. You can trace the steps of famous artists in the Arles, and I am sure to be butchering some of these French names. And you can also enjoy an illuminations cruise. There are, of course, delicious vineyards that are going to be making the local vintages like the Beaujolais and the Côtes de Rhone. You can, of course, become an expert in all things culinary because you can even go in search of the highly prized black diamond truffles and learn how to pair chocolate with wine, which that in itself already has my mouth watering. So starting with the Hispanic Heritage part, you can do a 3-night pre-cruise through Barcelona. So of course you're going to, and I'm looking at this because the itinerary that I've pulled up is actually a Christmas market itinerary that can be done in the spring when you want to go ahead and see the different colors of Provence, actually like when the flowers are blooming. You're just going to be missing out, of course, on the Christmas markets because Christmas isn't then. So you're going to check into your lovely hotel in Barcelona and then do a best of Barcelona tour, of course, visiting the Sagrada Familia and some Christmas markets if you're going to be going through a Christmas market cruise, which the reason I pulled this up because this is the exact itinerary that I might be able to squeeze into my travel before the end of the year this year. So I'm really hoping to pull it through. So if I do, like, I'm walking you through the exact itinerary that I might take. So after having that Best of Barcelona tour and visiting some Christmas markets, the next day is filled with the mountains and Abbey of Montserrat. On the next day, which is the final day in Barcelona, you actually take the high-speed train over to Nimes and transfer in Avignon, because it is time to embark the beautiful Ama Cristina, which is another one of the newer ships of Ama Waterways, and totally gorgeous. I so love being on Ama Waterways. It feels like family, just stellar service, stellar everything on those ships, and boy am I missing that. I have been returned from ocean cruising, so I just started ocean cruising this week as I'm actually in the Bahamas as I'm recording this episode for you. And it is just so different being on an ocean cruise. I think river cruising has me spoiled, and I am silently, but not so silently at the same time, I think I'm becoming a cruise snob, guys, and I'm okay with that at this point. So anyways, back to the Colors of Provence cruise. So you are going to embark in beautiful Avignon. The next day, we're going to be stopping at Tarascon. And again, I apologize if I am butchering some of these names. So, and one of the reasons that I love visiting or sailing with Ama Waterways is because so much is included. And this day has so many different tour options. So the first part of the day, so your morning, is going to be, so you can pick from a walking tour around Arles, you can do a bike tour, or you can do a Van Gogh walking tour. And how amazing does that sound? Later on in the afternoon, you can do a castle visit, or you can visit the Saint Remy Christmas markets and the Carrière des Lumières. I hope I pronounced those right. Or you can visit Camargo and Aigues Mortes. Wow, I am so sorry. That probably, even if you knew what this was, you'd be like, what the heck did you just say, Rita? And then, so let's keep moving on. And then we get to Avignon again, and you get to do an Illuminations cruise. And if you don't know anything about Illuminations cruise, those are probably like one of my favorite things to do while river cruising. I've done one in Budapest. I did one when we were in Cologne. It was kind of like an unofficial Illuminations cruise in Cologne, and that is when pretty much you go night cruising. You go night cruising and you get to see the city all lit up, and it is just so gorgeous, like seeing the glow from all of the buildings just off of your river cruise. It is beautiful. It is magical. So the next day we're still in Avignon. You're going to do a morning walking tour in Papal Palace, or if you're foodies, you can go ahead and do a Taste of Avignon tour. Then later on, again, you have a couple of options. You can do the Carpentras Christmas markets, the Pont du Gard, or an Avignon bike tour. Man, I just love having so many options. And the awesome, even better thing about having so many options is that those are all included in your package to go visit these amazing places. After your day at Avignon, then we are going to commence over to Viviers. So you're going to do a Grignan. Oh my gosh, I need to practice French. This is like clearly the biggest sign ever that I need to learn a little bit more about French. Grignan Excursion and Truffle Farm, which I am a huge foodie, so I am super excited about that portion. And then even continuing, so Tournon is the next day, and so there's a red wine and chocolate pairing, or you can do a Hermitage hike and wine tasting, which that sounds pretty neat too. But especially in December time, I don't think I want to go on a hike in December time in Europe. I think I'm going to stick to the red wines and chocolates. But props to you if you are up for a winter hike. The next day is going to start off in Vienne, so you can do the Roman ruins walking tour. Here we go again. The Romans were everywhere. Or you can do a Mount Pipette hike, or Via Rhona, I hope I said that right, bike tour. I was gonna say this should probably be like a shot game, like unofficially, like take a shot of water or something. Like let's be careful right now with how many mispronunciations I'm saying. And later we finally arrived to Lyon, and you can do a Lyon city tour and Christmas markets, or Les Halles market tour. That probably sounded more German than anything, or a Lyon bike tour. Now, something very exciting, if I am able to take this cruise later this year, is that when we go, there's actually the Festival of Lights happening in Lyon, and it only happens in a certain weekend every single year. And the itinerary that we would be taking just happens to fall on that weekend. So it is, again, a magical experience, because nighttime lights, the glow from all the lights, I can only imagine. It just makes me so stinking excited. I have to go. And then we have one of the last stops is in Villefranche. I'm so sorry, guys. For a Beaujolais excursion, tasting, and nativity scene, which I was raised Catholic, so I love all of like the nativity scenes and the religious aspects of the season. So that really excites me. Now, afterwards, you can go ahead and do another extension of your cruise, and that would be heading over to Paris. So as soon as you disembark in Lyon, you can go ahead and take the high-speed train to Paris, check into your hotel, and then the next day go ahead on a City of Light tour and Christmas markets. The next day is an evening in Montmartre and another illuminations tour, and then you fly home. Wowza. How amazing is that? Cobblestone streets abound everywhere, works of art from Gaudi, Christmas markets, streets, squares, festivals. Like when I think Christmas markets, I just think of the smells and the food, the tastes. Somebody had asked, is our Christmas market cruises really just about shopping? And I was like, oh, no. I mean, you can make it about shopping, but there is so much more. If you're a fan of Christmas, you need to do a Christmas market cruise. But if you're a fan of culture, if you're a fan of food, if you're a fan of music and art, Christmas market cruises has all that and so much more. And starting it off kind of like at the Mecca, where I say all roads lead to Rome, but I feel like in Hispanic culture, all roads lead to Spain and Barcelona. So Barcelona is the bustling capital of Catalonia, which is pretty much anyone who has any creative talent, that is a dream area. Gothic quarter where you can see Las Ramblas. That's a very popular shopping area. Also, Montserrat, the mountain Montserrat, is the home to the Benedictine monastery of Santa Maria de Montserrat. It's located about 30 miles from Barcelona. Once you're there, get to the top of the mountain, obviously an indescribable view, and the amazing landscape that you can see from below. The monastery was actually founded in 1025 and soon began to receive pilgrims and visitors who contributed to the spread of the stories of miracles and wonders performed by the Virgin Mary. The whole of Montserrat is built around facilitating the worship of the Black Madonna in the Basilica. While you're here, you can visit the famous Black Madonna sculpture, which sits at the back of the church above the altar area. The stairway leading to the statue, plus the room and altar in which the statue sits, are ornate, golden, and pay tribute to that wonder that is the Virgin herself. How amazing is that to start off your Colors of Provence cruise? You're going to get definitely some culture, definitely some history, and a little bit of Christmas magic on your first couple of nights before you head over to Avignon to get onto your beautiful gorgeous, like jaw-dropping, amazing. Like not even, I'm just talking about the aesthetics of the cruise. I haven't even mentioned about the helpful crew member that really, really do become family. Like I'm thinking about my ocean cruise that I'm currently on right now, and I remember the name of the person that gave me a massage, but I don't remember much else. And that is also because I've only eaten in the main dining room once. I do know table mates, but that's about it. But that is also the difference. The difference in, I guess, the magnitude of being on a giant ship versus being on a small ship experience. So let me know, what questions do you have about this amazing itinerary that starts or ends, can end, depending on which way of the river you're going, in the wondrous Barcelona. I look forward to seeing you next week, and you have an amazing one. Thank you for joining me on the Cruise Retreat podcast. Please subscribe and leave the show a rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to take a look at the show notes for important information and links. See you next week.